The briefcase was locked with 3 combination codes, and Chief Okonkwo's hands shook so badly he could barely hold it. "Maria," he whispered, his voice like gravel scraping against stone, "come closer." Maria wiped her wet hands on her apron and moved toward the massive bed where Chief Okonkwo lay dying. The room smelled of expensive cologne mixed with something else: sickness, medication, death approaching slowly but surely. It was 3 a.m. in Maitama, Abuja's richest neighborhood, and Maria had been awake for 19 hours straight. Her feet ached, her back screamed for rest, but when Chief called, she came, always. "Before we go any further, let me ask you something. Where are you watching this from? Drop your location in the comments. Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abuja, or are you watching from abroad wishing you were home? Let me know, because this story, it could happen anywhere in Nigeria. But it happened here in the heart of power, where money talks and the poor disappear without a trace." Now back to that night, the night that changed everything. Maria was 23 years old and had been working for Chief Okonkwo for exactly 3 years. 3 years of scrubbing floors, cooking meals, washing clothes, and doing everything the other 6 maids refused to do. The other girls, Blessing, Kioma, Ngozi, and the rest, they had seniority. They knew how to dodge work, how to gossip in the kitchen, while Maria ran up and down the stairs until her legs turned to jelly. But Maria never complained, not once. She came from Gwagwalada, one of Abuja's area councils where poverty wore many faces. Her mother sold roasted plantain by the roadside. Her father had been a taxi driver until a drunk politician's convoy ran him over 3 years ago and kept driving. No compensation, no apology, just another poor man's life erased like dust. Maria needed this job. Her 2 younger brothers, Emeka and Chindu, depended on the money she sent home every month. Without it, they would join the army of street boys hawking pure water under the scorching sun. So when Chief Okonkwo's wife, Mrs. Amara, told her during the interview, "You will work harder than you've ever worked in your life," Maria simply nodded and said, "Yes, Ma, I'm ready." She had no idea what she was agreeing to. Chief Okonkwo was 68 years old, a self-made billionaire who built his empire from nothing. He owned hotels in Abuja, Lagos, and Port Harcourt. He had oil blocks in the Niger Delta. He had contracts with the federal government worth billions of naira. Politicians feared him. Business rivals respected him. Pastors prayed for him on Sunday, and native doctors made sacrifices for him on Monday. But all that power, all that money, couldn't buy him more time. The cancer started in his liver and spread like wildfire. Lungs, bones, kidneys. The doctors gave him 6 months. That was 4 months ago. Now he could barely walk from his bed to the bathroom. His once powerful voice was reduced to a raspy whisper. His hands, which used to sign billion-naira deals, now trembled when he tried to hold a spoon. And his family, they were waiting. Mrs. Amara, his wife of 32 years, played her role perfectly. She held his hand during hospital visits. She wiped fake tears at church when the pastor prayed for him. But in private, her eyes were cold and calculating, already planning how to divide the empire. Then there was David, Chief's only son, 28 years old, handsome, educated abroad, and completely useless. David had never worked a day in his life. He spent his time in nightclubs, dating Instagram models, and crashing expensive cars his father replaced without question. David was waiting for the inheritance, like a vulture circling a dying animal. Chief Okonkwo knew this. He saw it all, and it broke his heart more than the cancer ever could. That night, when Maria entered his room at 3 a.m., she found him sitting up in bed, drenched in sweat, clutching the black briefcase like his life depended on it. "Sir, are you okay? Should I call Madam?" Maria asked, rushing to his side. "No," Chief's grip on the briefcase tightened. "Don't call anyone, especially not her." Maria's heart began to race. Something was wrong, very wrong. Chief Okonkwo looked at her with eyes that held a strange mixture of desperation and determination. "Maria, I need to ask you something, and I need you to answer me truthfully." "Yes, sir." "Why do you work so hard? Why do you never complain, even when my wife treats you like trash? even when the other maids laugh at you. Maria didn't know what to say. The question caught her off guard. I need the money, sir, my family. No, Chief interrupted her, that's not it. I've met plenty of people who need money. They steal, they cut corners, they do the bare minimum. But you put your heart into everything you do, even when nobody's watching. Why? Tears filled Maria's eyes. Nobody had ever asked her that before. Nobody had ever noticed. Because, her voice cracked, because my father taught me that the only thing a poor person has that a rich person can never buy is dignity. He said, Maria, no matter how hard life gets, never lose your dignity, work hard, be honest, and God will see you. Chief Okonkwo stared at her for a long moment. Then, slowly, he smiled. It was the saddest smile Maria had ever seen. Your father was a wise man. He's dead now, sir. I know, Chief's smile faded. Mrs. Amara told me. She said it during your interview like it was a joke. This one's father died like a dog in the street, she said. She'll be grateful for anything we give her. Maria felt shame wash over her, hot and suffocating. But she was wrong, Chief continued. You're not here because you're desperate. You're here because you have something most people in this house will never have: integrity. He lifted the briefcase and placed it on Maria's lap. It was heavier than she expected. Sir, what is this? This briefcase contains documents, codes, passwords, everything someone would need to access my entire fortune. Maria's hands flew up like the briefcase was on fire. Sir, no, I can't. Listen to me, Chief's voice grew urgent. I'm dying, Maria. Maybe I have days, maybe I have hours, I don't know. But what I do know is that when I'm gone, my wife and my son will tear everything apart. They'll destroy what I spent 40 years building. They'll sell it all and waste every naira in 5 years. But so, there's someone I trust, someone who will use my wealth the right way. His name is Tund, and he lives in Lagos. Lagos, Maria's voice squeaked. You have to deliver this briefcase to him. Personally, don't trust anyone else. Not my wife, not my son, not the drivers or the security guards, only you. Sir, I'm just a maid, why me? Chief Okonkwo reached out and took Maria's trembling hand. Because in 3 years, you've never lied to me. You've never stolen from me. You've never asked me for anything beyond your salary. In this house full of liars and thieves, you're the only person I trust. Maria's mind was spinning. Lagos was hours away. She'd never even been to Lagos. And if Mrs. Amara found out? If you do this, Chief continued, I'll make sure you're taken care of. I have a letter in that briefcase that guarantees you a job, a house, and enough money to send your brothers to any school in Nigeria. Maria's breath caught in her throat. Sir. But you have to leave tonight, now, before anyone wakes up, before they know what I've done. What about Madam? What about David? They'll come after you. Chief's voice was grim. My business partner, Alhaji Musa, he's been trying to steal from me for years. If he finds out about this briefcase, he'll do anything to get it, even kill. Maria's hands started shaking. This was insane. This was dangerous. This was. I know I'm asking too much, Chief whispered. I know you're scared, but Maria, you're my last hope. You're the only person who can do this. Will you help me, please? Maria looked down at the briefcase in her lap. Then she looked at Chief Okonkwo, this powerful man reduced to begging a poor maid for help. She thought about her father, lying dead in the street while the convoy that killed him drove away. She thought about her mother, selling plantain every day under the hot sun. She thought about her brothers, their futures hanging by a thread. And she thought about something her father used to say, when God gives you a chance to do something great, don't let fear stop you. Maria took a deep breath. What's the address in Lagos? To be continued. Will Maria make it to Lagos safely? What secrets are hidden in that briefcase? And what will happen when Mrs. Amara discovers what Chief Okonkwo has done? If you want to find out what happens next, drop a comment below and subscribe. This story is about to get crazy. And remember, sometimes the smallest person in the room is carrying the biggest burden. Don't miss part 2.